problems, that we have really learned in the last several years how important it is, how viruses can create a lot of long-term consequences.
Esteban.
Hello, David. I was actually on your show like 2 years ago during COVID, and I asked the question about...
Talk about Kansas and what happened in Kansas, whether or not it should have been a surprise. The vote to preserve the right to family planning, not rural and suburban. But then you have some other things that are worth noticing, little secrets. In Greeley County, Trump won that county with 85%. 70% of voter registrations in Kansas have been women. That's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.
At Midas, we make sure every stop on your road trip...
Oh, ice cream.
...is
9 years in a Russian jail for drug smuggling. Now remember, the drug smuggling was under a gram of cannabis oil. I want to say again, I had no intent on breaking any Russian laws. I had no intent. I did not conspire or plan. I'm against both. So don't come to me with this, oh, you're only talking about it because it's an opportunity to criticize Russia.
Pretty dramatically. I mean, even politicians that they're not directly funding, they are funding their primary opponents and essentially forcing those politicians, like Greg Abbott, forcing them to then move their positions harder and harder to the right. And a Republican, he served Amarillo for 18 years. Referring to these guys, he said, it is a Russian-style oligarchy, pure and simple, really, really wealthy people who are willing to spend a lot of money to get policy made they want, and they get it. This is poison in the bloodstream of American democracy.
Jobs than expected, despite the crunch from inflation and interest rate hikes. Then, rising tensions. China holds another day of massive military...
Overseas in Colombia or Long Island right now?
Definitely has to be Colombia. Definitely.
The reason I say that is because Grace was fortunate enough to play on the Peruvian national team for Copa America Femenina. First off, belated congratulations.
Medical exam, just health and other information. Options to fit many budgets. Easy online application. And help with expenses left behind. Over 2 million AARP members have trusted New York Life. Visit nylaarp.com for a quote or to apply.
Check to see if any new homes came up on the market.
Hey, hon, we got a live one, 3-bedroom with a walk-in closet and a playroom.
Go to Realtor.com or download the app for speedy alerts.
Don't believe it is the same woman unless the woman who called in was deliberately giving wrong information about where she teaches in different things. But it is a very cautionary tale about what exactly was said by our caller and what she feared because of her political views. So let me reset it for you. Article says, Russian teacher sentenced for telling students about war crimes in Ukraine. Says, this is a school teacher in a provincial Russian city. She got a suspended sentence because she spoke out against the Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine.
I mean, it's obvious, and for some context, for people who haven't been paying attention to this LIV golf tournament, the Saudi government is funding a golf tournament where they're paying like triple, quadruple what these guys like Phil Mickelson, who joined, who's one of the greatest golfers of all time, but he's probably on the downslope of his career. He's getting paid a ton more to participate in this LIV golf tour, and it's been this huge controversy with people. Never mind, I'm sure there have been golf tours sponsored by ExxonMobil or whatever in the past. Totally. But this is particularly odious and controversial, so of course they hosted at Trump's golf course.
And just one quote, because Mickelson was asked about this, and he said, they're scary motherfuckers to get involved with. He said, we know they killed, and this is in parentheses, Khashoggi, and have a horrible record on human rights. They execute people over there for being gay. Knowing all this, why would I even consider it? He answers himself, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reshape how the PGA Tour operates.
He's been in pretending he's not one of the country's elites.
Is Tucker like getting his jacket straightened out by somebody there, or what's?
Someone's on his back.
Oh, yeah. Someone's giving him a massage, probably.
And there he is with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump. I mean,
Trump's
apparently
a
people
lovely
were
side
chanting.
profile of Trump. We should get that. We should put that on the quarter.
Last hour, Phil Mickelson teed off here at the 16th hole just behind me. Here's what happened.
Do it for the Sunny Royal family.
Like there's so many old rules of the past that like it's just at some point I'm sure that it made some semblance of sense in context, and then everybody just kept doing it.
Look here, let's light these.
Everybody just kept doing it, even though it was like, so an example is like, you know how nowadays like there's still people like you don't wear your hat indoors, like you can't.
I know that don't hit for you.
No, it don't hit for me. But do you know the fucking reason that you don't wear hats indoors?
Well, at bars, I always thought it was just racism.
Yeah, it is, but like it's an old school.
Black guys wear caps, and they're like, no caps.
Yeah, right, but it's always been a thing, and they can
cowboy hats are fine.
Well, but they're not in some places. Like
I know that. Yeah, I know.
But the rule that they go on is like it's just always been a thing that you take your hat off when you go indoors, and the reason is, and this is my point about at one point. I kind of get it and it made sense, but we've gone past this in civilization. The reason that you weren't allowed or it was rude to wear a hat indoors is because back in the day, the only reason you wore a hat was to keep the weather off of you and the rain and the sun. And also back then, housing conditions were, a little worse for wear. They're having to build shit out of straw and clay and stuff. If you went into someone's house wearing your hat, what it said to them is, I don't know that some shit ain't gonna fall on my head.
What? Really?
I swear to God, because there's holes in the ceiling. It might rain. The sun might, like that was what it was. It was like you're supposed to take off your hat because I no longer need this.
I expect debris.
Yes.
Such a downtrodden hovel as this. I expect.
So this couple on the screen here, they have been arrested for filming themselves having sexual relations with their dog. I mean, what else can you say about this filthy, disgusting mess? Of course, y'all know I can say a lot, but because this kind of stuff is heavily censored, I'm going to be very brief on this.
Rudolph the Tall White Alien. Here are a few examples of some of our custom Tall White Alien protective amulets. To inquire, please email amytallwhite@gmail.com.
Yes, my friends. One of these days after my demise, Amy, the Tall White Alien administrator, will take over, and Rudolph of Germany will speak out of her body. The nature of the universe and the good news which come with it. And the good news are, you will never die. That one day, or the Jews, that the Messiah is coming and wakes you up. No. The truth is a bit different. Of the sleepers who became dreamers on my home planet. But after this
is Azuna, an all-natural odor eliminator and air purifier. Azuna is my simple secret to keeping my home stink-free and the air we breathe healthy and clean. The gel is made with Australian tea tree oil, nature's magical air filter. Have everything under control. Let one thing be simple. Azuna, anywhere.
Yes, if I had home insurance through Hippo, this could have been avoided. Just watch the ad to see why.
Mark and Sam. It's Bill again. So today we have something going on, and we are going to be raising money for a cause. Tweeting it out right now. I'm going to wait for people to get in before I really say exactly what we're doing.
Mosaic, that is America. Radio Beacon to Radio Beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America. Believe me.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randy Roach.
The reality is murder is legal, and there is already plenty of gun control in place. Every single time we see these shootings happen, there's so much more to the story. We want to know what kind of drug abuse is going on with that person. What kind of psychotropic medications are they on, and are those making an effect? As
5 states are going to vote. Do you understand that? 5 states are voting tomorrow. Missouri is voting tomorrow. We'll see if Eric Greitens actually wins a primary. Oh my God! And I will say, Missouri. Look, you had what was it, Todd Aiken? I don't know if Missourians remember. If you're that your uterus is smarter than you are, and your uterus knows that sperm was an unfriendly sperm that fertilized your friendly egg, and so you're violent, lying sacks of dung. And Lucas is a 13-year Marine veteran. In this climate where veterans are being stiffed right along with women.
The false. We believe that all men are created equal. The magnificent mosaic that is America. From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
He's talking about drag queen story hour. He's got a whole new act. He was in Washington, D.C. like a couple of days ago for the first time since he left office, and doing some of his greatest hits. Working in some new shit. He's got a new hunk about he wants to execute drug dealers. Wow, I don't think drug dealers should be killed unless they're very, very late. The Arabians have a new golf league. Everyone has shunned them. Trump, of course, invites them in. I played in a Saudi golf tournament once. My handicap was they beheaded my caddy. So he has this golf tournament with the Saudis, and 9/11 families thought it was a little tacky. They were very pissed off about that. And here's Trump's quote. He said, "Nobody's gotten to the bottom of 9/11. Yes, it was probably Antifa, I imagine. I don't know.